things are looking good.
There we go.
Let's see here. Yes.
Good morning, and welcome everyone to our live year-end celebration of learning. We are so glad that you could join us today and so happy that we are able to host this celebration from our beautiful campus. This has been a truly tremendous and unforgettable year, and we're happy to take some time today to celebrate you and your success. Parents, students, family members, and faculty, welcome to our Aberdeen Hall Senior School year-end celebration. Please join me in welcoming our graduating student and future operatic star, the very talented Chantel Bennett, as she opens up our ceremony today with the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, Canada, terre de nos aïeux, ton front essaie de fleurons glorieux, car ton bras s'y portait les pieds, il s'y portait la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits et ta valeur de foi trempée protégera nos foyers et nos doigts. Protégera nos foyers et nos
Thank you, Chantel. That was fantastic. It's my pleasure to participate in today's closing senior school assembly. Students, faculty, parents, congratulations on another successful year. You showed resilience, grit, adaptability, and perseverance. Really important skills that we're trying to learn here at Aberdeen Hall. Teachers, administrators, I'd like to first mention a special thank you to the leadership teams of Mr. Ozuchowski, Ms. Hill, Mr. Acree, Mr. Bienvenu, and Mr. Kostaka. Thank you for leading the senior faculty members. Thank you so much for all the work you did, in particular the pivot to online learning in the 2 terms in the spring. Student council, I do remember back to the first 2/3 of the year, and I had the pleasure of hosting a number of student council meetings. So I'd like to thank the student council names now. Mr. Joel Comfort, Ava Peacock, Braden Ozuchowski, Kaylee Kirvashine, and Annika Bester served as our senior school student council, and you guys did a terrific job. On the middle school student council, we had Megan Doran, Emily Bopp, Milo Ludbrook, Rubo Bansal, and Kenta Harris. Thank you so much for all of that work. This year, I'd also like to recognize a couple of special events that happened here at school. As I look in front of me here, we formally named the Holsey Hall, which was formerly the Great Hall, but we were proud to name that the Holsey Hall. It's a permanent name. And over to my right, we have the Hanlon Senior School. So major events this year. And just before I move on, I'd like to recognize a faculty member who's retiring this year. Mrs. Suzanne Ray joined us 14 years ago. And Suzanne has been a wonderful building member of the Aberdeen Hall community. She is a loyal, hardworking, steadfast, full of integrity individual. And I can't think of a more valuable employee of the school. Suzanne and husband David, I want to thank you for your contributions, and we wish you very well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an opportunity for you to interact with us today. We have a trivia question up on the board that is going to be joining us, and you can call into 250-899-2032. There's someone manning the line for some fantastic prizes today. Your first question of the day, and there's going to be a series of 3 questions. Number 1, there is only one teacher at the school who we call doctor. Who is that? I will be back later, and I'm excited to see you.
So traditionally at this type of a celebration, I'd give a speech about how proud I am of our students and how much they've grown this year, but I thought about doing that, and instead I hope you'll take a minute to indulge me as I tell a story instead. So the story goes like this. Once upon a time there was a school. It was a beautiful school, set up on a hill, and when the light hit the windows just right, oh boy, there was no better place to learn. Inside the walls of that school was a community of students and teachers, and their energy filled the building every day and made the buildings hum with the sound of learning. Every year in September, the school got ready to host the students returning from summer vacation. And this year the school swelled with pride to welcome in a gaggle of grade 6 students, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and perhaps just a little bit nervous about whether they're going to be able to open their combination lock or find their classroom on time. And for sure there were nervous feelings in the teacher bellies too, as Mr. Jackman waved to his new students for the first time, and Mr. B and Mr. P led the middle school assembly as principals instead of teachers. But the students smiled at each other, they looked around to see teachers who cared about them, and they heard the encouragement of their family members. And the nervousness of the first few days of September soon fell away. Well, every day, the little school on the top of the hill felt proud to watch as inside the classrooms, rockets were built and graphs were graphs. On the field, balls were kicked and thrown and dodged, and buses came and went from the roundabouts, taking our students to try paddleboarding or to perform their musical concerts or to connect with outreach programs. And at night, the little school stayed busy too. There were improv shows and drama performances in the Holtze Hall, dances in the gym studio, and overnight leadership retreats in the theater. How happy the little school was to watch the students grow and stretch and reach towards their goals. And every day, the little school was glad to feel its halls fill up with laughter and the sounds of community learning together. But then, one day, everyone left the building for a spring break that just seemed to stretch on and on. Sure, there were staff that came and cleaned the building top to bottom, and teachers came in to record a video or two here and there, but the kids stayed home. And the hallways and the classrooms were missing the sounds of laughter and lessons, and throughout the spring, that's the way it was. And that should have been sad, right? Because the school was empty. But it wasn't sad, because each Friday night Mr. Pistaka put on a movie trivia night, and it wasn't lonely because Miss Christensen organized lunch with puppies over Zoom. And each day, from basements and living rooms and home offices and broom closets, students tuned in to work together on math assignments or create videos explaining why the Roman Empire fell, or to take part in a Flipgrid discussion. There were trick shot competitions and D&D club meetings and homeroom check-ins and tutorials with your teachers. And you see, the school isn't just a place. It's a community. It's our community. And each day, as a community, we showed that we cared about each other, and we showed that we wanted to continue to learn together. And so to each of you watching today, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being a part of our special community. Your enthusiasm for learning, your perseverance when things got tough, and your resiliency in the face of challenges, all these things were on display this year. And we couldn't be more proud. Thank you. I'd like to recognize Kenta Harris, one of our middle school student council members who's here today to speak on behalf of the grade 8 students. So please welcome him as he shares his message and his memories of middle school.
Good morning, parents, teachers, students, fellow classmates, and Mr. Grieve. To start off, I would like to acknowledge that this year was not easy. We were faced with many challenges and were forced to adapt to a new way of learning. I would like to thank all of the teachers for helping everyone keep learning through this difficult time, because I assure you that none of us would have survived the school year without them. It is very surreal that just 2 years ago, I and all of my classmates were just innocent grade 6ers starting our first year in the institution described as middle school. None of us could have imagined what it would be like getting ready for high school, because at the time, middle school seemed like a forbidding and inescapable place. Not only did we make it through middle school, we absolutely crushed it. My middle school years have definitely given me many memories and experiences worth keeping. Some of the highlights of this year include the middle school dance, which was one of the most exciting and interesting experiences of my middle school years because of the excitement and enthusiasm generated by younger grades. We might have dressed a little 80s themed and 70s themed, but it was close. Another amazing experience this year was Pie Day, because poor Mr. Pistaka and Mr. Pilling got pied in the face with real pie. We also got to participate in many other awesome events, like a pie eating competition and a pie memorization competition. The last event that is in my memory books would definitely be the middle school ski day, because everyone was so excited and the hype leading up to the ski day was unreal. During the day, everyone got lessons in the morning and got to ski or snowboard with their friends in the afternoon. The ride home from Silver Star was also extremely fun because we were all very happy, and of course, the bus had Wi-Fi. In addition to the memories and fun events, I would like to recognize a couple teachers who have made a big impact on everyone. First, Mr. Pistaka. Thanks for always making math extremely fun. You may not be able to keep track of what grade we're in, but at least next year, you'll have a higher probability of getting your guess right, because we'll actually be in grade 9. I would also like to acknowledge Miss Boker for always being there for everyone. Throughout my middle school years, she has been one of the teachers that I know I can always go to for help or if I have any questions. Last, but definitely not least, is Mr. Bienvenu. I first want to thank you for doing such an amazing job as this year's middle school principal, for keeping everyone safe and learning during this challenging time. As one of your homeroom students in grade 7, I will inform future students that Mr. B's Uncomfortable Talks of the Week were definitely something to look forward to. Moving into grade 9 is going to be a big change, but I and all of my fellow classmates are excited to become high schoolers with new and interesting teachers. I would like to end this speech with a quote by Stephen Hawking. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. See you next year. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, Kenta. You speak well beyond your years. Now, I would like to recognize the first caller in with the correct answer of Dr. Hoffman. Well done, Josiah Van Leenen.
Yay!
Now, we have a second question for you that you can call or text into again at 250-899-2032. The next question: he is big, he is blue, he is orange, he likes to appear at our sporting events. What is his name? And we'll see you again.
All right. Hi, Aberdeen Hall. An honored tradition that we have is to recognize both students and staff who completed 5 and 10 years of day school at Aberdeen Hall. 5 and 10-year pins are awarded and can be worn on the #1 blazer for all to see. Well over 150 students and staff have reached these milestones over the last several years. And we'd like to now recognize this year's recipients of the award. Would the following people please join us virtually, and we'll get you your pins later on in receiving your 5-year pins.
In grade 6, Ishan Gruel, Riker Gagnon, Lucas Segler, Sophia Sexton, and Justin Crockford Alvarez. In grade 7, Benjamin Balaka, Indiana Gazen, Carter Knight, Robert Novakowski, Isabella Preckle, Callum Sutton McMillan, and Isabella Valdez. In grade 8, Emily Bopp, Sarah Kovacs, Luca Lau, Ducati Shaw, and Danica Cormier. Well done.
Excellent. And in high school, grade 9, Abby Herbert, Chloe Knight, Owen Novakowski, Addison Romanek, Kyler Assam, Soren Crum. In grade 10, Jake Bennett, Armand Brach, Abby Balaka, Tristan Kribo. In grade 11, Callie Melnick, Jacob Krishke, Megan Huang, Yvette Huang, Caden Lou Morelli, Finnegan Peel, Sasha Peel, Angus Rothery, Zipporah Shaw. And in grade 12, Ken Anderson, Chantel Bennett, Emma Balaka, Liam Herbert, Sky Neal, Luke Ovenden, Emmeline Oxtoby, Ava Peacock. And amongst our faculty and staff, we have a few recipients as well. So I'd like today to recognize Braden Pistaka, Michael Hooper, Brianne Niles, Clay Stuthers, and Sherry Tembaskal. And we'd also like to award the tenure pins to those who have achieved that enormous milestone. So the following students and staff will be receiving this pin this year. In grade 9, Jeanette Kai, Maggie Chow, Isabella Drager, Tejan Govender, Caden Harris, Athena Merks, Isla O'Connor, Chelsea Ozachowski, Pauline Pham, Olson Russello, Kylia Williams, Sylvie Boschman, Gemma Cunningham, Rajan Hunjan, Cooper Russell. In grade 10, Tyson Batty, Felicity Byrne, Milan Bertolucci, Chloe Etheridge. In grade 11, Molly Small and Sydney Kaloje. And in grade 12, Kair Ranshaw, Jonathan Etheridge. And amongst our faculty and staff, Mr. Tom Stinson. The Aberdeen Hall Lifer Award is presented to grade 12 students who have completed their entire education here at Aberdeen Hall. This year, we're going to recognize 4 students, and Mr. Grieve will be addressing them in the graduation ceremony. This year's recipients will be Coral Croker, Cheyenne Lawrence, Braden Ozachowski, and Adrian Price Roberts. The honor of being named valedictorian is determined by the grade 12 class and the Aberdeen Hall faculty. This student is recognized not just for being a top academic student. In addition to academics, the valedictorian is a student who contributed greatly to the school community, to the graduating class, and who represents the characteristics that we value in an Aberdeen Hall student. This year's valedictorian will deliver her speech during the graduation ceremony later this morning. And it gives me great pleasure to share with all of you Aberdeen Hall that the 2020 graduate who was selected as this year's valedictorian is Ava Peacock. Congratulations, Ava. Mr. Groh.
Hello, Aberdeen Hall. I'm super excited today to be here with you, and I'm here to present the Legacy Award for Athletics. And this is to honor students who have made a significant contribution to our high school athletic program, and you consistently demonstrated enthusiasm and dedication for our athletics and in a multi-sport or multidiscipline area. And this year's recipients are Braden Ozachowski, as a leader, as a key multi-sport athlete, a huge Griffin fan, and even a coach this year. I'd like to congratulate Braden. Ben Byrne, for years of diligent and forever dedicated sport to our school. Kaylee Krivishine, as again a leader in the female sports, and her rigorous and dedicated abilities as a captain on all our girls teams. And Haley Zandy for her dedication to volleyball and helping us achieve provincial standings in the last 3 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Groh. We have one final trivia opportunity for you. So far, our second question was answered correctly by Callan Sadu. I'd also like to give an honorable mention to the Hogger family, so well done. We have one last question today. There is a senior school administrator who can be seen singing through the halls almost daily. I would like his last name, and I need the full last name from you folks. I will see you again in a little bit.
Hi, I'm Annika Bester, and I have a message for the graduating class of 2021. Grade 12, a year of self-discovery, stress, excitement, and leadership. When I began my final year of high school, I was so stressed and focused on making the year perfect. But due to circumstances created by COVID-19, the year didn't turn out how I envisioned it at all. Instead of letting myself get discouraged and upset due to the losses my graduating class and I were facing, I decided to make the best of the situation and take advantage of opportunities to connect with students and other teachers. My biggest piece of advice for the graduating class of 2021 will be to live in the moment and take advantage of every experience you're given. Don't stress yourself out worrying about specifics or details because things will forever be changing. Specifically, I want you to know that you don't have to have your entire life planned out as soon as you step back into school in September. I changed my mind about what school I wanted to go to, what program I wanted to go into, so many times, and that's 100% okay. You can change your mind as many times as you wish. As long as you're happy and excited about what you're going to do, you will succeed. Grade 12 is an exceptionally exciting time in your high school career. You will laugh and you will cry, but there's so much growth in your final year at Aberdeen Hall that it makes all the emotions worth it. If you're taking AP Calculus next year, I strongly advise that you memorize your unit circle and derivative formulas, because trust me, if you don't, your daily quizzes will look like they're written in a foreign language. AP English students will be learning so many big words that they don't even know that they exist yet, and they'll be writing so many essays that they can basically do it in their sleep by the end of the year. Despite all of the new things coming along with AP English, it's a class that you're never going to stop learning in. I've been fortunate enough to watch many of the students in the graduating class of 2021 grow up and mature during my time at Aberdeen Hall, and I cannot wait to see what you all accomplish next year. Success in grade 12 is accomplished through hard work, being involved in your school community, going to a basketball game or volleyball game, building strong relationship with Mr. Acree, and sticking together. I wish you all the very best next year, and I cannot wait to see the amazing young adults you all become.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Ozatowski, principal of the high school, and usually I get this talk last at these closing ceremonies, not because what I have to say is of significance particularly, but because I'm the speech that usually gets cut when we run out of time. So I'm really happy today that I get to speak to everybody because, you know, we have infinite time. So we're just going to keep talking until you guys all log off. Anyway, so I wanted to leave you guys with a couple of thoughts. And it's been one of those years where we've got lots of things that we want to remember and a few things that we want to, you know, maybe move past. But I have a little story for you guys today that I was hoping would, I don't know, make you feel good. Okay. What I have learned about telling stories is that if you include a puppy, you're way more likely to have people engaged. So this story is about a puppy. This story is about a puppy in the country of Kazakhstan. Now I want you to imagine, if you will, Kazakhstan in spring. The rain has been pouring, the snow has been melting, and the rivers and streams are swollen with water, making its way to the sea. Along comes our young puppy, here. Now, she's young, she's full of energy, and she's, you know, a little foolish. And before you know it, she finds herself stuck in the middle of this raging waterway. She tries to get out, but the sides are way too steep, and she falls over and over again into the white water. Things, they were looking pretty bleak for our canine friend. And she was growing really tired. Soon, she'll be swept away and disappear into the reservoir. But wait, insert our hero. A regular guy, he saw a problem and just wanted to help. Throwing caution to the wind, he desperately leaps into the river, risking his own safety to save this wayward dog. But sadly, the riverbank is too steep for him to climb. And try as he did, he just couldn't escape the river. Things were looking really bleak. But wait, the story's not over yet. Right to the rescue come several bystanders, all strangers who witness the goings-on in the river. They swiftly form a chain, reaching out and stretching towards our soggy friends. Unfortunately, the chain is just too short, and the puppy can't be rescued. All is lost, and things are looking desperate. But don't despair just yet, because just when things were looking the most hopeless, just when things were the most despondent, a fifth gentleman arrives, rushing to join the chain. Carefully, they reach out towards the wayward dog. And at last, just when hope was at its thinnest, the puppy and its drenched savior were heaved to the top of the riverbank, where they were greeted with a joyous cheer. And they all lived happily ever after. Now, well, Sometimes life is going to throw a little whitewater our direction. And these moments can be scary. And we can have worries. Sometimes our efforts might seem to be not enough on our own. But if we team up together, and if we strive to do what's right, we can save a lot of puppies. And what wonderful things we can accomplish. I'm really proud of the family we have here at Aberdeen Hall. I say the word family with a reason. We are a family. And if a group of 6 perfect strangers can come together to rescue a stray dog none of them even knew, imagine what our Aberdeen Hall family can do for one another when we need it. Together, we're better. How fortunate I feel to be part of such a family as this. Have a wonderful summer, and we'll see you all in September.
Now I'd like to recognize our final trivia winner, Peyton Hamilton. Well done, Peyton, and thank you guys for competing in one last trivia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the end of our year-end celebration, we want to make sure you check My School for one final announcement. We're showcasing some of the highlights and great memories that we have made throughout the year. And our team has created a slideshow that you can view after we sign off. It's a really well done piece, so please make sure to take the time to take a look. We wish you could be here. We are so happy that we got the time to celebrate together. If I could offer you one final piece of homework over the summer, please take the time to dip at least one big toe inside the beautiful Okanagan Lake and take advantage of everything this valley has to offer. We can't wait to see you again. Have a great summer and stay safe.